And you're very welcome back this evening to Off the Ball. If you want to get in touch with us, 53106 is the text number, or of course you can follow us on Twitter. We're also on Instagram. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are wherever you want us to be. That's what you want to hear on a Friday night, isn't it? Now, on Friday nights over the last few years, we've had Tommy Tiernan on. We've had Hector Laurita on. We're finally adding the third part of the Holy Trinity to the show this evening. Laurita Blewitt, good evening to you. How are you?
Hi, Ger. Good to talk to you. How are you keeping?
What's the crack?
Not very much. Sure, it's a Friday evening, getting ready for the weekend. Everything's good.
You're getting back into the GAA training groove as well?
Yes, I am going to attempt to anyway. It's been a while since I've played, so getting back involved with Sports Direct and GaelicForMothers&Others through the LGFA. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not fit at all, so I'll be challenging my fitness. But by all accounts, it's just a fun, non-competitive way to get back into the sport, so I'm looking forward to it.
It's not the worst midlife crisis, is it?
No, Jesus, I hope it's not a midlife crisis yet, Ger. I'm not old enough for that yet.
What does it involve, and how long has it actually been since you've been playing?
So I got surgery on my foot, I'd say, to about 2014. So I haven't played since then, and so it's been way too long. I get jealous when I see our seniors winning a county title for the first time ever here in Knockmore and beating Carnacon for the first time, because for all of my entire playing career at every age, Carnacon used to beat us. So last year it was great to see our senior ladies get one over on them. I think they were going for their 23rd county title in a row. So I think it was about time someone took them off their pedestal. So it's been a long time since I've played, and I'm looking forward to just seeing if I can still kick the ball straight, which might be a challenge.
And was Cora Staunton not playing for Carnacon? Is that the thing that changed?
No, she was.
Right.
She was actually playing. Yeah, she was playing, and our young guns came along and snatched it from them. So it was brilliant. It was great because our lads had won the county senior title the year before, and again this year. So to have two senior titles in the club, it's brilliant in Knockmore.
And so just to talk about the programme itself, because it is actually very hard to get back into doing something movement related, physical related, when you've stopped for a while. I think everybody has that period where you're doing something for a couple of years and then you stop, and then getting back the first time, or this, like, getting into that habit of doing it again, that's the hardest part, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the great thing about this Gaelic for Mothers and Others means for women who may not have ever played Gaelic, but have maybe been involved through their kids or through their other half or through their family, and they might not have played themselves, but they want to get involved and they're already involved in the club. It is a lovely way to introduce yourself into football, and this way it means that it's more social. It's non-competitive, which I will struggle with a little bit. They don't keep scores by all accounts, and our club here in Knockmore have had their team up and running since 2017. So it just means as well, if you're new to an area, and the GA has been great for this, for both men and women. If you're new to an area, or you're moving somewhere different, it's always great to touch base with a group of people, like-minded people, and get involved in a club. And this way you get to do your weekly training by being involved with Gaelic for Mothers and Others, and then just making new friends. And I think that's really what the LGFA and the GA is all about as well at the end of it all. So it's a great way to get involved. It's non-competitive, as I said. It's a social environment, recreational, and you're getting your weekly training session in. So a few people have messaged me today, even on Instagram, saying, "Oh God, I've not played. I'm 42. Well, should I get involved?" I think you should definitely get involved, because as the group that were telling me here in Knockmore were saying, look, it's not, you're not going to be criticised for missing a point, or, it's not life or death if you win or whatever if you lose, and they don't keep scores. So it is just a fun way to get involved, and it's a great way to get to know people in your new area if you've moved somewhere. And the big national blitz is on the 3rd of September as well, which I'll be at in St Sylvester's in Dublin there. And there's going to be 2,500 people, women, involved in that. So it just goes to show how much this initiative has grown over the last few years. There's something like 400 clubs right across the country as well. So it's brilliant.
It's funny, the one thing that you would say is missing from the GAA architecture for the men is that kind of five-a-side soccer equivalent, where you can just go with a bunch of mates every week and play games.
Yeah. Now,
five-a-side is notoriously, unfortunately, full of dickheads, and so therefore a bit too competitive from time to time, which can turn a lot of people off. So this sounds like it's the perfect solution, and maybe the men might be able to yoink this idea from the women.
Yeah, what would the GAA call it? Dads and others, or something like that. I'm not sure how it would work. You'd have to market it very carefully for the men, because they still would want to be competitive. Us ladies are a little bit more passive, I think, So
nuanced.
I don't know how it would work.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I do have visions of you though, like taking a piece of paper out of your pocket and a pen and just quietly keep a score to yourself, just so at least you know who's won.
Yeah, I'd have big problems with that. I said, is it any way, like, is there any bit of fighting in it, or a bit of shouldering, or I know there's not in ladies football anyway, but you always get away with a little bit of it. No, it's completely for fun. So I'll just have to relax a small bit when I get involved.
I mean, there totally is shouldering involved. That's the whole point. It's just like they pretend there isn't.
Sly ones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you watch it like, this is completely physical. Come here. Talk to me a little bit about the massive, overwhelming success that you're experiencing at the moment. It's like this outpouring of national love for you guys, particularly over the last couple of years. It was almost like whatever happened around the start of lockdown, you just managed to capture the zeitgeist perfectly.
Yeah, we did. We came around at the right time, just when kind of podcasts were getting cool and all. We didn't really know anything about podcasting, but we got involved. We wanted to do something together, the three of us. It's been a long time since we were together doing a radio show, probably 15 years ago. So to get back at it and do a podcast where we've got complete control, we can say whatever we want as long as we don't get in too much trouble for it. And I think, we've just sort of, people have had the opportunity, because they were working from home or doing their 5K or 2K walk around, they were getting the opportunity to listen to podcasts, and we just came on stream at the right time. And we just, I suppose it's so natural in a way. We're just like three friends in the pub having a pint and somebody listening in, and that's, we've definitely done that once already, and I think we're due to go back to the pub and do another podcast from there at some point. But yeah, it's brilliant, it's great, and people are, I suppose, connecting with it. And a lot of the time we're chatting to people, get in touch with you through social media, that might be living away and haven't been able to get home for the last couple of years in Australia, New Zealand, wherever it is. And it's just given them a little outlet and a little taste of home as well. So it's nice. It's
life-changing, I suspect, is it?
For the listeners or for us?
Well, I meant more for you.
Yeah, look, it's great. I obviously still work with Mayor Roscommon Hospice, and it's brilliant to be able to do something in media that I've always kind of had such a huge interest in, and to be able to be involved with the boys again, it's brilliant. Yeah, so it's great, and I love it. And it's not really, it is work, but it's hard to really justify it as work, because it's more fun,
And hopefully it helps in the day job as well.
Absolutely, yeah, and the hospice are great about it, and I get an opportunity to talk about the hospice quite a bit on the podcast, which is great, and it kind of opens up the experiences of people and their use of hospice, I suppose, across the country too. Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's definitely one of the things that's resonated with people as well, and just the ability to talk about these things in a normal way, where it doesn't sound like. I think that is definitely changing. And it's going to be the legacy of the show for however long it runs, and it feels like it could run forever. I do want to ask you about Mayo football and the amazing carnival that has been around. Is that all over now, that you have a manager and it's done? Is that everybody like, okay? I don't think the carnival of Mayo football ever stops, does it? There's always some bit of controversy or a bit of action that's happening, and we're always thereabouts when it comes to the business end of the season. But unfortunately not this year, but hopefully next year, the year after. Look, Kevin McStay's there. He's got a great band of former Mayo footballers in the backroom team, and it's great to see Stephen Rochford back again. And who knows how it's going to go? I suppose they'll be judged on, can they win the All-Ireland? And I suppose that's the measure of it over the next 4 years. So you're desperately trying not to say Mayo for Sam, but that's what you want to say. Is that what I'm hearing? Well, I mean, everybody in the country wants to say that, don't they? So, look, I suppose it's a great time of the year it's a great time for Kevin McStay to come in and take over as well. He's got a huge amount of players to pick from. A lot of young talent has emerged over the last 2 years or so as well. So we'll see how he gets on, and we'll all be very keenly keeping an eye on how things are going. We're looking forward to the season starting already. But we've club championship to start on, and he'll have plenty of matches to get around and see from the first weekend in September, right across lovely County Mayo. And I'm sure he'll pick up a few new players along the way too.
It felt a little bit like there was just an exhaustion that set in over the last 4 or 5 months in particular, that the end of the league campaign was so deflating that it was very hard for the team to get the same level of inspiration from the fans back, because belief seemed to seep away for whatever reason after that Kerry game. I don't know, did you feel that? Because we did the show, and the football pod did a show in Mayo, and there was it was the quietest Mayo audience I've ever experienced in the 20 years that we've been doing this.
Yeah, well, look, I suppose it's amazing too. You know, sometimes a team will come up and they'll have 2 or 3 years of success, or get to that point. Maybe not success is the right word in Mayo, but they'll get to an All-Ireland final and then they'll go away for a couple of years and regroup. But like in Mayo, it's just constant. They're just, they're able to get to that point nearly every year, if every not second year. So, I mean, there is always that expectation. And maybe this season it wasn't there, and it's probably good for Kevin McStay to come in now on that. There'll be, obviously there'll be excitement now with the new manager and new backroom team, but there's always that expectation there. It's been so long ago since we won. Most of us weren't even alive when it happened, and it's just constant. We're full of hope in Mayo, full of desire, and hopefully someday we will get across the line. Look, it's very hard for supporters to continue that absolute fanatical form year in, year out, but they don't disappoint either. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, won't we?
I do feel like the new management team will be able to inspire that, though, that kind of devotion had seeped away a little bit, because, as I say, no one really thought they were going to do it this year. But you can easily lull yourself into it next year being different. The injured lads will be back. It's a new management team, new tactics, new backroom team. Let's go.
Yeah, and the excitement, it must be very difficult for the players to pick themselves up every year and go at it again and just go at it and go at it. And, there's so many players there even now. Will there be any more retirements, or, will the team that are there now just continue to push on with the new manager? It must be massive for them to have to just, go back into it season after season and, just try their best again. So, look, if a new manager and a new backroom team and a whole new setup comes in, I'm sure it's going to rejuvenate the whole bunch again. So, and as you said, injuries will be hopefully righted this year again. And look, hopefully they'll have no problems on the injury front going into the season. And then maybe pick up a few new players after the club championship here in Mayo as well. And I'm sure there's always some exciting new talent coming through. So we see that in all the clubs across. I get to see a lot of club games. I kind of watch most of Knockmore's games and whoever they're playing. So, you're always seeing some good players. Obviously, that's a bigger translation then to go from club football into inter-county football. But there's always one or two every year. So
and it feels like that's all they need to be competitive again, at least. So look, just to wrap this back up, if anybody is interested in dusting off the football boots or buying a pair of football boots, or just going along and even testing the waters to see what the Gaelic for Mothers and Others programme is all about, what's the handiest way for them to do it?
Yeah, well, look, it's just you can check them out on Instagram and on Facebook and all of the rest of it. It's Gaelic for Mothers and Others. You can check it out through the LGFA, and sports director are putting so much effort into this as well. So it's going to hopefully be a brilliant blitz on the 3rd of September. And I would encourage women who are listening to the show today to get out there and just get involved. And you're training one evening a week. You're just getting slowly back into it, and it'll, for me, I hated going to the gym by myself or doing training by myself. So this is a good way of getting back into the fitness. And then all year round, they kind of do something, whether it be inside or out on the pitch. So you'll get a bit of healthy, fresh air and into your lungs and get back into the football buzz. And if you've never played before, I strongly recommend it. It'll be a lot of fun.